Hello guys, it's Talk to Your Midwife session. Now there are several people asking about induction of labor, how we do go about it and what it is all about. Now, induction of labor means initiating labor pains. Let's say you've reached term, your pregnancy is term, but labor has not initiated itself naturally. So what we do by induction of labor, we start those contractions, we start the labor not naturally but artificially. Nowadays, mostly what we use in induction of labor is a tablet. There is a tablet we put under your inside your cervix. That tablet is called prostaglandin. It's like a hormone which naturally occurs in your body as a woman, but only that it's kind of not enough to initiate your labor. So what we do, we will give you an artificial form of the hormone to help mix it with the hormone that is in your body to help it at least initiate that labor. So we will insert the first tablet in your cervix, then assess whether your cervix is adequate for delivery. That one we have to do even before inserting the tablet. We first ensure that your baby is safe. The heartbeat of your baby is very normal, not high, not so low. Then we have to ensure that your cervix is adequate for delivery, your pelvis is adequate for a normal delivery, and everything is normal. When we ensure that everything is normal, we insert that tablet in your cervix, then give you 6 to 8 hours to just rest and give time for the tablet to start working. In case the first tablet doesn't work, after 6 to 8 hours, we will assess you again. If the cervix is still closed and everything is still not working, we give you a second tablet. We insert a second tablet, then give you another 6 to 8 hours, then reassess that cervix. If it is still not opened, nothing, no labor still, we give you, there is an option of giving you the third tablet. We insert the third tablet, then give you another 6 to 8 hours, allow you to stay for 6 to 8 hours and reassess that cervix. People have different women have different cervixes and respond differently to induction of labor. So there are that group of women who will respond to the first tablet, others will have to go for a second tablet, then the others have to go even for a third tablet. But in case unfortunately all these three do not work with you, we have to go in for an emergency CS. And reason for the emergency CS will be failed induction of labor. So some of you will work with the first one, some will work with the second, or some will work with the third one. We can never predict. We can never predict how your cervix or how your body will react with this induction. And that's why we find we have to assess, we have to reassess after the first induction. We have to assess how you're progressing so that we can determine whether we can still go for a second one or maybe it's done. There are those people who will only go for the first induction, the first time induction, and we take you for an emergency CS. But on various reasons, maybe your heartbeat, the heartbeat of your baby is misbehaving, either going too high or going too low below the normal range or too high above the normal range, even if the labor has not yet started, but the heartbeats of the baby are differing from how we started it. That's a reason that we can decide to take you for an emergency CS. So it's not all about just the cervix opening during induction of labor. It's even about how your baby is progressing and how your baby is reacting towards that induction. So we might take you for a CS because your cervix is not opening, because your induction has failed, or we might take you for a CS because maybe your baby is distressed, or maybe the heartbeats of your baby are not okay. in the process of induction of labor, maybe we give you the first tablet and we find that you have some contractions. So before inserting the second tablet, we come and assess you and find that you are already dilated at least 3 to 4 centimeters. What we prefer to do at that moment, instead of inserting a second tablet, we might decide to do something we call a membrane sweep. A membrane sweep, I will insert my fingers, then I will sweep the cervix. I will sweep the surface of that cervix. By doing that, this is the cervix, then I insert my fingers, then I will sweep this place, the outer part of the cervix. By doing that, I'm already stimulating those hormones that are being produced there, and naturally that will increase your labor. So for most of the people who dilate with the first tablet, who dilate 3 to 4 centimeters after the first induction, we might not continue with the induction. What we'll do, we will just do the natural induction. We'll just sweep your membranes, and that will naturally increase your labor. Then if your membranes are bulging, the membranes are the waters of the baby. If the membranes are being felt, when I'm doing my vaginal examination, I feel the membranes there. It is also advised, a natural way of increasing that labor, I might also decide to rupture those membranes with your consent. And when you rupture those membranes, it means that the baby's head, there will be a vacuum created. When that water is drained out, there will be a vacuum created, and the baby's head will descend and occupy that vacuum. So it means the baby's head will touch the surface of the cervix, and by doing that, as long as something is touching the surface of the cervix, it means naturally you're stimulating the hormones which are there, and hence you're increasing the contractions. So naturally your contraction will increase and your labor will progress even without a second induction. So we find out you're dilated that from the first induction, we don't have to go for a second one. If the first induction doesn't work, we go with a second one. If a second one works with that is what we will continue: membrane sweeping and then rupturing your membranes, and then we just let you continue with your normal labor. Then after the rupture of the membranes, when your baby is distressed, we believe that when a baby is distressed in the womb, what they do, they start to poop in that womb. So when they poop, the color of your or the color of those membranes, after I rupture the membranes, the color of those waters will not be clear as clear as a tap water. No, it will have some color change. It will appear greenish, and that we classify it in classes. We have some groups of it. So still, that is one reason that can make us take you for an emergency CS, because the heartbeats can be okay at that moment when I'm rupturing the membranes, but again the baby is already pooing inside there. So for the heartbeats, the baby has not yet started showing with the heartbeats that the baby that he or she is distressed. But with the baby's poops, especially with grade 2 and grade 3, we don't even wait. We don't wait for anything. You have to go in for an emergency CS before that baby becomes so much distressed. So that is all about induction of labor, and I guess we have now come to understand why we will take you for an emergency CS even after inducing you. And we need to note, we don't just induce at any age. You can't come at 36 weeks and tell me to induce you. No. For induction of labor, mostly we do it past 40 weeks. If you are 40 weeks, the labor is not yet initiated naturally, you can come for induction of labor at 40 weeks, 41 weeks, 42 weeks. That one you are so much eligible to go for induction of labor. And please let us know that it is not 100% sure that induction will work, and still we cannot predict how your induction will react. So it's good to be calm and wait for your own experience, and just be keen especially on how your baby is behaving towards that induction of labor. Thank you.